Money influences nearly every aspect of modern life, yet very few people are ever taught how to think about it correctly. Schools teach mathematics, history, and science, but rarely address the mindset, psychology, and discipline required to manage money wisely. As a result, many people struggle financially not because they lack ability, but because they lack understanding. This book begins from a simple but powerful truth: financial success is not primarily about income, luck, or background. It is about mindset. Before money is earned, saved, invested, or multiplied, it is first processed in the mind. The way you think about money determines the decisions you make, the habits you form, and the results you experience. Many individuals work hard, earn income, and still find themselves trapped in financial stress. Others, with fewer resources, manage to build stability, growth, and freedom over time. The difference is not chance. It is the quality of thinking behind their financial choices. Mindset shapes behavior, and behavior shapes outcomes. The purpose of this book is to help you develop a healthier, stronger, and more disciplined relationship with money. Rather than focusing on quick fixes or unrealistic promises, it focuses on principles that last. It addresses the psychological foundations of wealth, beliefs, emotions, identity, discipline, and long-term thinking. This book is written for anyone who wants to take responsibility for their financial future. It is for those who are willing to reflect honestly, learn patiently, and act consistently. You do not need to be wealthy to begin this journey. You only need the willingness to change how you think. Each chapter is designed to challenge limiting beliefs, strengthen financial awareness, and guide you toward greater clarity and confidence. The goal is not just to improve your finances, but to help you become the kind of person who can manage money responsibly and purposefully. Financial freedom is not achieved overnight. It is built through understanding, discipline, and time. This book invites you to begin that process from the most important place of all, your mind. Read with openness. Reflect with honesty. Apply what you learn with patience. The journey toward financial clarity and control begins now. Chapter 1: Understanding Your Money Programming. Every person has a financial story, whether they realize it or not. This story is not written by chance. It is written by beliefs, words, experiences, and emotions accumulated over time. At the center of this story lies what we call money programming. Money programming is the set of beliefs and attitudes about money that operate silently in your mind. Most of these beliefs were formed long before you earned your first salary or made your first financial decision. They came from parents, family members, teachers, culture, religion, and society. What you repeatedly heard about money as a child became what you unconsciously accepted as truth. If you grew up hearing that money is difficult to obtain, that wealthy people are dishonest, or that financial success is reserved for other people, your subconscious mind absorbed those messages. The subconscious mind does not analyze or debate. It records. Later in life, it works tirelessly to protect those beliefs, even when they limit your growth. This is why many people sabotage their own financial progress without understanding why. They avoid opportunities, undercharge their skills, fear responsibility, or feel uncomfortable when earning more. Their actions are not the problem. Their programming is. The good news is this: money programming can be changed. The first step is awareness. You cannot change what you do not see. Begin by observing your thoughts and emotions around money. Do you feel fear, guilt, or anxiety when you think about finances? These emotions are signals pointing directly to your internal programming. The second step is responsibility. Your past is not your fault, but your future is your responsibility. Once you become aware of limiting beliefs, you gain the power to replace them with stronger, healthier ones. Instead of saying money is hard, begin to say money is learnable. Instead of saying I am not good with money, say I am improving my financial skills. Instead of saying wealth is for others, say I am building my financial future step by step. Finally, understand this fundamental truth: your mind is your first financial asset. Before you save money, earn money, or invest money, you must invest in your thinking. When your internal programming changes, your external results follow naturally. Wealth does not begin in the bank account. It begins in the mind. Chapter 2: The Psychology of Scarcity and Abundance. Your financial results are deeply connected to how you perceive the world. At the psychological level, most people operate from one of two mindsets: scarcity or abundance. These mindsets are not about how much money you have. They are about how you think, feel, and react when money is involved. A scarcity mindset is driven by fear. It is the belief that there is never enough. Not enough money, not enough opportunities, not enough success to go around. People trapped in scarcity think in the short term. They focus on survival instead of growth. This mindset creates anxiety, emotional spending, fear of investing, and constant stress around finances. When someone thinks in scarcity, every financial decision feels heavy. Spending creates guilt. Saving feels impossible. Investing feels dangerous. Even when money comes in, it does not bring peace, because the mind expects it to disappear. Scarcity thinking keeps people stuck, regardless of income level. An abundance mindset is different. It is rooted in the belief that opportunities exist and can be created. Abundance thinking is calm, patient, and strategic. It focuses on value, learning, and long-term results. People with this mindset understand that money flows toward skills, discipline, and contribution. Abundance does not mean reckless optimism. It does not mean ignoring reality. It means trusting that growth is possible through effort, learning, and time. Abundance thinkers are willing to delay gratification today to build freedom tomorrow. They see money as a renewable resource, not a fragile possession. The most important truth is this: scarcity and abundance are internal states. You can earn more money and still think in scarcity. You can earn less and still think strategically. Your mindset, not your income, determines your financial ceiling. Shifting from scarcity to abundance begins with awareness. Notice when fear drives your decisions. Notice when you rush, panic, or avoid responsibility. Then pause. Replace fear with learning. Replace urgency with planning. Replace comparison with progress. When you train your mind to think in abundance, your behavior changes. You make better decisions. You manage money with clarity instead of emotion. Over time, your financial reality begins to reflect your inner mindset. Abundance is not something you wait for. It is something you practice, starting with how you think today. Chapter 3: Emotional Money, Fear, Guilt, and Shame. Money is not just a financial matter. It is an emotional one. Behind almost every money decision lies an emotion, often hidden, but powerful. Fear, guilt, and shame are three of the most common emotions that shape financial behavior, and when they go unrecognized, they silently control our choices. Fear is the strongest emotion connected to money. Fear of losing, fear of not having enough, fear of failure, and fear of responsibility. Fear makes people hold on too tightly, avoid investing, or delay important decisions. It convinces the mind that safety comes from doing nothing, when in reality, inaction often creates the greatest risk. Guilt is another emotional barrier to financial growth. Some people feel guilty for wanting more. They believe that desiring wealth is selfish or wrong. Others feel guilty when they earn more than those around them. This guilt leads to self-sabotage. Overspending, giving irresponsibly, or refusing opportunities that could lead to growth. Shame is the most silent and dangerous emotion of all. Shame keeps people quiet. It makes them hide debt, avoid conversations about money, and repeat the same mistakes in isolation. Shame whispers that financial problems are personal failures rather than skills that can be learned and improved. Healthy financial growth begins with emotional awareness. You must learn to observe your feelings without judging yourself. Fear does not mean you are weak. Guilt does not mean you are wrong. Shame does not mean you are broken. These emotions are signals, not verdicts. When you acknowledge your emotions, you regain control. You can replace fear with education, guilt with purpose, and shame with responsibility. Money management becomes clearer when emotion no longer drives every decision. Remember this truth: money is a skill, not a moral judgment. Mistakes are lessons, not life sentences. When you master your emotions, you master your money. And when you master your money, you reclaim your confidence and your future. Replace limiting beliefs with empowering ones. Replace "I cannot manage money" with "I am learning to manage money." Replace "wealth is not for me" with "wealth is built through discipline and time." These new beliefs may feel uncomfortable at first, but repetition makes them familiar. When beliefs change, behavior follows naturally. Saving becomes easier. Discipline feels lighter. Growth feels possible. Over time, your financial life begins to align with your new internal rules. Remember this: your beliefs are not facts. They are habits of thought. And any habit can be changed. When you change what you believe about money, you change how you behave with it. And that change reshapes your future. Replace limiting beliefs with empowering ones. Replace "I cannot manage money" with "I am learning to manage money." Replace "wealth is not for me" with "wealth is built through discipline and time." These new beliefs may feel uncomfortable at first, but repetition makes them familiar. When beliefs change, behavior follows naturally. Saving becomes easier. Discipline feels lighter. Growth feels possible. Over time, your financial life begins to align with your new internal rules. Remember this: your beliefs are not facts. They are habits of thought. And any habit can be changed. When you change what you believe about money, you change how you behave with it. And that change reshapes your future. Chapter 5: Reprogramming the Financial Subconscious. The subconscious mind plays a decisive role in your financial life. While the conscious mind sets goals and makes plans, the subconscious mind determines what feels natural, safe, or uncomfortable. This is why many people know what they should do with money, yet struggle to do it consistently. The subconscious learns through repetition, emotion, and familiarity. Whatever you repeat often, especially with emotion, becomes a pattern. Over time, these patterns turn into automatic financial behaviors. This is why changing your financial future requires more than information. It requires reprogramming. Reprogramming the financial subconscious begins with language. The words you use shape how your mind interprets reality. When you constantly say, "I am broke," or "money is a problem," your subconscious accepts those statements as facts. Change your language, and you begin to change your internal instructions. Another powerful tool is exposure. Your mind adapts to what it sees repeatedly. When you expose yourself to positive financial models, books, mentors, and disciplined behaviors, your subconscious begins to normalize success and responsibility. What once felt impossible starts to feel achievable. Action is the final and most important element. Small, consistent action sends strong signals to the subconscious. Saving small amounts, tracking expenses, and honoring financial commitments build trust between you and yourself. Each small win reinforces a new identity. Chapter 5: Reprogramming the Financial Subconscious. The subconscious mind plays a decisive role in your financial life. While the conscious mind sets goals and makes plans, the subconscious mind determines what feels natural, safe, or uncomfortable. This is why many people know what they should do with money, yet struggle to do it consistently. The subconscious learns through repetition, emotion, and familiarity. Whatever you repeat often, especially with emotion, becomes a pattern. Over time, these patterns turn into automatic financial behaviors. This is why changing your financial future requires more than information. It requires reprogramming. Reprogramming the financial subconscious begins with language. The words you use shape how your mind interprets reality. When you constantly say, "I am broke," or "money is a problem," your subconscious accepts those statements as facts. Change your language, and you begin to change your internal instructions. Another powerful tool is exposure. Your mind adapts to what it sees repeatedly. When you expose yourself to positive financial models, books, mentors, and disciplined behaviors, your subconscious begins to normalize success and responsibility. What once felt impossible starts to feel achievable. Action is the final and most important element. Small, consistent action sends strong signals to the subconscious. Saving small amounts, tracking expenses, and honoring financial commitments build trust between you and yourself. Each small win reinforces a new identity. Reprogramming takes time. Old patterns do not disappear overnight. But with patience and consistency, the mind adapts. What once felt difficult becomes natural. What once felt uncomfortable becomes routine. Remember this truth: your subconscious is not your enemy. It is your servant. It simply follows the instructions it has been given. Give it new instructions, and it will support your growth. When you reprogram your financial subconscious, discipline becomes easier, clarity increases, and progress accelerates. Your mind aligns with your goals, and your financial life begins to move forward with purpose and confidence. Chapter 6: Identity Shift: Becoming Financially Responsible. Lasting financial change does not begin with numbers. It begins with identity. Before habits change, before discipline becomes consistent, and before wealth grows, a deeper shift must occur. You must change how you see yourself in relation to money. Many people say, "I want to be rich," or "I want more money." But desire alone is not enough. What truly shapes behavior is identity. If you still see yourself as someone who struggles financially, your actions will silently align with that identity, even when opportunities appear. A powerful shift happens when you move from wanting wealth to becoming financially responsible. Instead of saying, "I want money," you begin to say, "I am a person who manages money wisely." Instead of saying, "I hope to be disciplined," you say, "I am becoming disciplined with my finances." Identity-driven change is stable and sustainable. When identity shifts, habits follow naturally. Saving no longer feels forced. Budgeting no longer feels like punishment. Investing no longer feels intimidating. These behaviors become expressions of who you are, not tasks you struggle to perform. Identity is reinforced through action. Every time you honor a financial commitment, no matter how small, you cast a vote for your new identity. Each disciplined choice strengthens the image you hold of yourself. Over time, this identity becomes your default state. It is important to understand that identity shift is a process. When you change your identity, you change your financial destiny. You stop fighting against yourself and start building with clarity, confidence, and purpose. Chapter 7: Money as a Tool, Not a Master. Money is one of the most powerful tools ever created, yet for many people it becomes a source of stress, fear, and control. The difference between financial freedom and financial anxiety lies not in how much money you have, but in the role money plays in your life. When money becomes a master, it dictates decisions, emotions, and self-worth. People begin to measure their value by their income, compare their lives to others, and chase money at the cost of peace. In this state, money controls behavior instead of supporting it. A healthy money mindset understands that money is a tool. Like any tool, its value depends on how it is used. Money is meant to serve specific purposes: security, growth, freedom, and impact. It is not meant to define your identity or replace your values. When money is treated as a tool, clarity replaces anxiety. Decisions become intentional rather than emotional. You spend with purpose, save with discipline, and invest with vision. Money becomes something you manage, not something you fear. Problems arise when money is used to seek validation, status, or comparison. These motivations create endless dissatisfaction because there will always be someone with more. True financial peace comes from alignment between money and values, not from chasing external approval. Learning to use money as a tool requires boundaries. You decide how much is enough. You decide what matters. You decide when money supports your goals and when it distracts from them. Control returns to you when money has a clear purpose. Financial maturity means being able to hold money without being controlled by it. It means growing wealth without losing peace, ambition without losing balance, and success without losing integrity. When money serves you instead of ruling you, it becomes a powerful ally. Used wisely, money supports the life you choose to build, not the life you feel pressured to chase. Chapter 8: Psychological Discipline Before Financial Discipline. Before budgets, before investments, and before wealth, there is discipline of the mind. Financial discipline is impossible without psychological discipline. If the mind is impulsive, emotional, and inconsistent, money will always escape, regardless of income level. Psychological discipline is the ability to pause, think, and choose intentionally. It is the strength to delay gratification, to resist emotional decisions, and to remain consistent even when motivation fades. This inner discipline determines whether financial tools succeed or fail. Many people attempt to manage money without managing themselves. They create budgets they do not follow, plans they abandon, and goals they forget. The problem is not the system. The problem is the lack of mental structure supporting it. Discipline begins with awareness. You must learn to observe your impulses without immediately acting on them. Spending urges, fear-based reactions, and comparison-driven decisions lose power when they are recognized consciously. Awareness creates space between emotion and action. Consistency is the second pillar of psychological discipline. Small, repeated actions shape character. Tracking expenses, honoring commitments, and following routines train the mind to value long-term outcomes over short-term comfort. Over time, discipline becomes part of your identity. Psychological discipline also requires patience. Wealth is not built quickly, and impatience often leads to poor decisions. When the mind accepts gradual progress, financial pressure decreases and clarity increases. A disciplined mind creates financial stability. It allows you to stay focused during uncertainty, calm during setbacks, and committed during slow progress. Money responds positively to structure and consistency. Master the mind first. When psychological discipline is in place, financial discipline follows naturally. And when both work together, long-term wealth becomes not just possible, but sustainable. Chapter 9: Your mind is your first asset. Before money enters your bank account, it enters your mind. Before wealth is built externally, it is built internally. This is why your mind is your first and most important financial asset. Everything you do with money begins with how you think. Skills, opportunities, and resources are important, but without the right mindset, they are often wasted. A disciplined mind knows how to use resources wisely. A focused mind recognizes opportunities when they appear. A prepared mind turns small chances into long-term success. Your thoughts act like seeds. When planted repeatedly, they grow into habits. Habits then shape behavior, and behavior determines results. If your thoughts are filled with fear, doubt, and limitation, your financial life will reflect that reality. If your thoughts are structured, confident, and intentional, growth follows. Protecting your mind is therefore a financial responsibility. This means choosing what you consume mentally. The books you read, the voices you listen to, and the environments you stay in all influence your thinking. Negative influences weaken discipline, while constructive influences strengthen it. Investing in your mind requires consistency. Learning about money, personal development, and discipline is not a one-time event. It is a lifelong process. Each lesson learned strengthens your ability to manage wealth with clarity and confidence. Many people search for money outside themselves, believing it will change who they are. In reality, money responds to who you have already become. Growth begins when you focus on becoming disciplined, responsible, and intentional. Your financial future does not depend on luck or background. It depends on the condition of your mind and the choices you make daily. When you take care of your mind, your money follows. Remember this final truth: wealth is built from the inside out. Guard your mind, train it well, and use it wisely. It is the foundation upon which all lasting financial success is built.